For far too long, anime seems to think we want only one thing, and it's this. No, nothing more than just a well-written, believable, that isn't afraid to throw hands when it needs to get done.
Do it, yeah!
My girl just factory reset that.
You nasty.
Skyrocket said to remember behind the camera director. Here's another Gigguk reaction, best anime 2023. I almost wanted to throw in a nutshell, but that's not what we're doing here. Anime 2023 was fire. It was fan-fucking-tastic. It was I feel like it was one of the largest budget years of anime that we had seen in a long time. There was so many mangas that got their first anime, their first 12 or 24 episodes. We had Blue Lock coming out at the beginning. We had Chainsaw Man coming out in the beginning. We had Heavily Delusion, which was an undercard, big time undercard that not a lot of people expected. There were so many fire things in the year. So many good things. I'm excited to see what Gigguk picked up on, what he's going to talk about, what he found to be the best in certain categories, in certain places. It was a good ass year. We ate very well. Free Aaron popped up towards the end of the year. Summer had a little bit of a lull, but even really, it didn't have that much of a lull. And then, of course, you had the end of one of the greatest animes of all time, Attack on Titan, coming through. Fantastic year of anime. I'm very excited to see what Gigguk's gonna cover, what he's gonna skip, what he's gonna give its flowers, and what he's gonna drop in the fire and burn to ash. I want to know. I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to jump in. Just full disclosure, there might be more pausing in this than there usually is. But yeah, that's what we're here for, to react and to watch and to enjoy. So we're gonna jump into this mug. If you made this far and you haven't already, drop a sub, drop a like, whole thing's gonna be here. Make sure you drop a comment down below. What was your favorite anime of 2023? Reaction starts now.
Well,
Oshinoko? I forgot
Another year
Oshinoko
has passed
too.
us by, and with it has gone another year of anime. We got good shows, we got bad shows, but the real question is, what are the moments that are going to be remembered?
Cause I'm on 100's fire too. Oh my god, 100 Girlfriends, Apothecary?
Heavyweight shows just completely taking over. Anime seems inescapable whether you're a fan or not. Successful live action adaptations, legendary series coming to an end, memes, so many memes. It feels like the influence of a handful of shows have truly seeped into mainstream pop culture and only continues to grow from there. But there were still some other things happening around our little sphere. Anime fans continue to find any opportunity to complain about CG. This time even Demon Slayer was catching strays, with viewers complaining about how these fishes look like an absolute joke. How dare any anime
hated the
consider
fish?
this exceptional quality, they cried. Meanwhile, in Isekai land,
Kamikatsu!
this is what peak CGI looks like.
No, honestly, no, I'm not gonna lie. I forgot about Kamikatsu, right? And the thing about Kamikatsu is in their use of CGI, they were not trying to hide it. I personally believe it was a very blatant directorial and artistic choice because of an underlying world building that I think is happening, but we haven't been revealed yet in the anime. I'm an anime only, don't ruin the manga, but I believe it's on purpose. But yeah, the CGI in Kamikatsu was absolutely hilariously bad, but I think it was intentional.
Views, 400k likes, and 100,000 retweets. Meanwhile, I'm out here drawing at least 8 lines, and I'm still waiting for Shonen Jump to hit me up with that manga deal. One Piece defied all odds by giving us a live-action adaptation that didn't suck, while the Jujutsu Kaisen fanbase came together to collectively say, nah, I'd win. Which is what I think they say when they enter a contest of who can more effectively spoil their fucking series.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, the spoilers this season. The spoilers. Jujutsu Kaisen fans, I'ma say it. Y'all are the worst! My god! Oh!
Random dude from Mashal.
am Rhodes Amos!
I mean, look at him. He lasted like 2 seconds. Who the hell would play a character like that? Probably some dumbass hack. For real,
oh,
it's been 10 years
Wait,
now
was it
since
really
I've been
him?
doing these yearly anime recaps. I have gone through a bloody decade of anime, and a lot has changed during that time. I can only imagine the wild things that were happening in 2013 back then. Hayao Miyazaki finishes his latest feature film, The Wind Rises, just before announcing his retirement from filmmaking at the ripe young age of about 197 years old. That was a fucking lie. There are a lot of shows that didn't make my list this year. Not because they weren't good, but because I didn't have much to say about them other than
Bleach.
it was good. Hell's Paradise was fun. So was Mashle. So was Undead Unlock. One day, I'm sure the West will appreciate Uma Musume as much as Asia does.
What the hell?
Today is not that day. Mushoku Tensei continued my favorite isekai story of all time by having its main character go,
I cannot get it up.
people were attacking Rudy left, right, and center. But I think
They
he proved he's
were.
a real gentleman by showing that he never, ever raises his sword at a girl. All right, let's get to my favorite shows of the year.
That's so
Before we
dirty.
do,
Tomo? Hell yeah.
the zombie genre is probably one of the most saturated and overdone genres you can find in any entertainment medium. About 10 years ago, yet somehow in 2023, we still got an entirely fresh and original take on it in Zom 100.
Very good
Zom
original.
100 tells the sad story of Mapper employees. Overworked and undervalued by the company overlords that run their
Mapper
lives, it takes an
employees.
entire zombie apocalypse for Akira Tender to start living the life he should have. This show felt like a personal call-out for anyone who's ever worked a dead-end job in their lives and has daydreamed of something, anything happening to take away their responsibility out of their hands, even if that thing is the end of the world.
Not that,
Akira
though.
personifies that feeling of pure freedom we all secretly wish we had. That feeling that breaks the shackle of responsibility of having to go to work, of having to wake up for school the next day. Eren Yeager looks at him and goes, fuck that guy, which is embodied in one of the most impressive opening episodes all year, where you could feel that every single person working on it channeled their passionate hatred of all the previous employers that had ever wronged them. Unfortunately,
Yo,
it felt like a lot of the
deadass.
hype got taken away, largely due to episode releases being plagued with constant delays because of
Yup.
time slots and supposed production issues.
Yup.
Oh, hey, would you look at that? Even though the show lost some steam as it went on and was tonally a bit all over the place at times, it was still
Yes.
a fun little show I think anyone could enjoy, because in this day and age where it feels like people are fighting tooth and nail just to survive, I think a lot of us could use a story about one man reminding us all how to live.
Yo, facts. I will say, everything Gigguk said about Zom 100, I echo the exact same sentiments. I actually dropped a video called More Delays, More Animes, More Delays, More Issues. It's on this channel. Go look it up. It's a dope channel. I talk about the delays and how I feel like Zom 100 was on pace to be like a 10 out of 10. And delays happened. The story shifted. More delays. The tone got lost because sometimes you lose some of that heat, that continuity. It ended up as like solid as hell. But I really feel like it was approaching GOAT status. Not GOAT status, but like greatness.
The most respected genre in anime, but this year we saw the 100 girlfriends who love you come along and personally made sure
Oh God,
that
yes.
it never will be. This is the story of a man who got rejected so many times, who had such
Chat
negative
our video.
riz. God took pity and gave him 100 different girls he had to date or they'd all die. This is
Negative
like watching
riz.
someone dying of thirst in the desert, and then God goes, all right, I've got a solution. I'm listening. Just
Flood.
fucking drown him. But what God didn't plan for was
Flood.
that he chose someone who could chug the ocean dry and still have room for more. 100 Girlfriends has a concept so dumb, it will need to be as batshit crazy as its own premise to even have a chance at making it work. And that's
my
exactly
God,
why it
I
does.
forgot
It's
how.
stupid, it's unhinged, it knows exactly how insane it
Oh
is,
my
and then
God.
runs with it 10 kilometers past where it needed to go. By all
Facts.
means, this show shouldn't have worked if we didn't have the greatest harem protagonist to bring it all together.
Oh my God. Yamada!
Yes, we were Grace with the apex of boyfriends, the partner she tells you not to worry about. He may look like the most unthreatening guy possible, but watch him be like, don't worry, I come in peace. Hi, what's your name?
Yep.
It's accurate.
Accurate.
Harem rom-coms, but 100 Girlfriends was a showcase of how to do a parody correctly. Reinforced by Bibri Animation
Correct.
Studio doing a bang-up job selling all of these jokes in the anime adaptation. They went above and beyond, and I can't wait to see how they adapt the manga beyond the whoa, wait, what? Why are you all running away?
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That's one page. Nah. 100 Girlfriends also did a video on that. Go check that out because Gigguk did a video on it. Yeah, 100 Girlfriends only works because Chad Taro is Chad Taro. I could never be Chad Taro. I couldn't be in 100 Girlfriends. After I got to like 2 or 3 girlfriends, I'm going to stop paying attention to one. He gets it because we can't afford to. Hats off to him, literally and figuratively. Ha! Really? Trion Stampede?
In the minds of anime fans, 3D animation comes in 2 tiers. There's the Berserk 2016 tier, a show so disastrous it has scarred the anime community from 3D anime to this day. And then there's this, the aesthetic that looks like one of those games I apparently won't last 5 seconds playing. The real answer, though, that Studio Orange has been out here creating their own tier. Every project they seem to continually push themselves, one-up themselves, and Trion Stampede is their best looking show yet.
Okay.
Not just with some of the jaw-dropping action sequences and camera work, but small micro expressions and camera animation that give their work just a bit more life. They are still continuing to push the boundary of what is possible in a 3D anime in every way possible. When I got the lucky opportunity to talk to a producer at Studio Orange, he called themselves the hentai of the anime industry. And, well, that's pretty accurate because what they've done with Trigon
What do you mean by that?
got me bricked up. Alright, how's the show? Trigon is one of the most beloved anime from the old school Adult Swim era.
bro.
When you take on the mantle of rebooting a franchise like this, you always have to contend with picky fans comparing each and every little change in detail. Vash's bounty is way smaller. He has a different haircut, different gun. Character designs that looks like this now look like this. Now where have I seen this aesthetic before? Oh. The spaghetti western feel takes a backseat to fully flesh out a hard sci-fi story. It's more dark, more gritty. One of my favorite things from the original being Vash and Wolfwood's epic buddy cop dynamic feels a tad more intense.
I'll skin you alive and play with your bones until you're begging to die.
Pause. Pause.
Make no mistake, this is an entirely new Trigon, but one thing I can always respect is when a reboot tries to do something different that the original didn't already do, and by the end of the season, it becomes abundantly clear what all these changes were leading up to, and goddamn did it leave me wanting more. In a time where I feel like we're getting starved of good, hard science fiction anime, this has to be one of the most unique and
oh my god, shawty's with glizzies.
In years. And I honestly think the way things are set up, it has the chance to do even more than the original did if it gets future seasons. When people remember Trigon, they say, oh yeah, Trigon. I freaking loved Trigon.
That's what I say.
If you ask them before that what they recommended we go back and watch, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist. Trigon has always been on that second or third echelon of recommendations behind the classics. And I fully believe that with what Studio Orange have set up with this season, it has the potential to go up to this tier.
Really? Yeah, no, Trigon was one of the first anime I was ever exposed to when I was like 12 years old at my cousin's house in New Jersey. And like, it was the first time I ever lived somewhere that had cable. And all I would do is be up randomly every single night watching Toonami from like 11 to 2 a.m. without my aunt's permission, just watching anime. And Trigon was one of the ones that came on. Now, mind you, I'm old now, so I barely remember the plot or anything that happened. But yeah, Trigon, Big O. That's what I was on, bro. That's how old I am. That's what I was on. But I wasn't gonna give this Trigon a chance. I don't know if I will, because I don't know if we'll react to it. But you know, Gigguk makes it sound promising, and I love it when a classic gets its own flowers. Top 10. Let's go. Oceano. Okay, timeout. Nah, he put Oceano at number 10. I don't know, man. Yo, I don't know, man. I got my own top 10 video coming out. I'm just gonna say this. Oceano's top 10 is not number 10, bro. I don't believe that.
There were few anime last year that exploded onto the scene as fast as Oceano did. Our hearts were torn to shred in a tragic 90-minute opening episode. A new mess was formed as anime companies saw the feature-length opening premiere and said, wait, you can do that?
It's free real estate.
The opening song became the very first Japanese song to top the global Billboard 100 charts.
No, it was fire.
My anime list came together and went, fuck you, Full Metal Alchemist. This is the greatest anime ever made.
Damn, bro.
Everyone remembered there was an entire rest of the show you needed to watch. Describing the plot of Oceano is like, alright, so there's a doctor who's a huge fan of this one idol, and it turns out that idol he likes shows up in the hospital, but then it turns out he gets born as that person's crazy fan comes back and murders their mom.
Jesus.
But then because his mother's really traumatic. So, it's an idol anime? No. Sometimes Oceano is a victim of its own insane premise. Like, I don't even know if I fully understand this main character. A grown-ass, idol-obsessed man who gets reincarnated as the son of the girl he idolized and grows up being obsessed with his now mum and any other girl who even remotely reminds him of her. Like, if I call him a motherfucker, is he more likely to say fuck you or yes please? Here's
yes please.
Freud's grave right now. But the show shines as this interesting, no bullshit Instagram filters off look at the Japanese entertainment industry, showing you what really happens behind those closed doors when the cameras are turned off.
Good.
I hate the media!
This was the show that tricked everyone into thinking they were watching another Idol anime, when in reality it was almost the complete opposite. And the real ones know the true thing single-handedly elevating the reputation of Idol fans in 2023 is the sheer existence of Aoi Todo. With how popular this got, I find it interesting how much I heard this title being thrown around last year when most people saying it probably didn't even know what an Oshinoko is. See, in Japanese, Oshi means a person who I support, and in idol culture is normally used to refer to someone's favorite idol. So the term Oshinoko has a clever double meaning that could be my favorite idol or my idol's children, which both perfectly describe the show. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Oshis are worshipped in idol fandom in the same way that Taylor Swift has become the Jesus for white women.
Facts! Now, Oshinoko was fire. Now, objectively, Gigguk hit on a good point where it feels like an idol show. You think it's going to be an idol show, but it really touches on some dark subject matters, some touchy subjects. And as somebody who's been a part of the actual entertainment industry, it honestly, it touches a little bit of a nerve in a lot of ways. And I feel like if you're not interested in the behind the scenes of, you know, entertainment, you probably lost, a couple episodes probably lost you just a little bit, but the overall storytelling, never forgetting that it's a revenge story, not an idol story. It is an idol story, but it's an idol revenge story. It was fire, man. I don't know. It being at number 10, I'm interested to see what he put above it, because I got Oshinoko minimum top 5, man, or at least 6. Like, damn, 10? I'm gonna let it go, though. Atomic. Nah, Eminence is good right here.
Saying you're a fan of isekai feels a bit like saying you're a fan of British food. People think you're consuming the most bland, tasteless piece of garbage the world has ever seen. But sometimes I have a friend visit and they have a taste of a proper full English breakfast. A perfectly cooked Sunday roast. They try some of our Cornish pasties, our crisps, and it's like, damn, this is pretty good actually. That is my Eminence in Shadow. This takes every single trashy, cliche tropes you scoff at in isekai and wears it like a badge of honor. Edgy main character, an army of girls in his harem, blatant power fantasy, nonsensical plot lines, cheesy dialogue, boobs. You know it shouldn't work, but it wears it all so proudly you start getting convinced that it's actually cool. It's not that it isn't stupid. It is stupid, but it doesn't give a fuck if you care or not. And I thought this would eventually run its course until I kept watching and realized that this has a more interesting plot and better world building than 90% of isekai.
I love that he's playing music in the background.
For as self-aware as it is, it spares no expense in building up this fully fleshed out world with so many moving parts. Every new arc, you see the dominoes being perfectly laid out. It's all set up for Sid to come in and topple them on the biggest stage possible. And even though you know it's happening, when the moment comes, it delivers. Every single time. This was the most fun I had with any show all year. And just when I think the plot has nowhere else to go, season 2 ends with a world-shaking development that made me go, fuck! Why aren't more isekai doing this? I guess what I'm trying to say is, I really miss Greg's.
No, Eminence definitely was a welcome surprise. And what Gigguk said that I really liked, every time that I think I'm tired of the trope that they're running, they find a way to flip it on its head and deliver like a uppercut that's just lands so perfectly. Even in there's certain moments where you think, okay, here's where it happens, and the thing happens, but it doesn't happen the way you think it's gonna happen. Oh man, it's actually beautifully built. The other thing I like, he said, how Eminence lays out its dominoes in a very perfect way. It's very meticulous the way they lay out the dominoes to deliver the parody punch that you're really looking for. Honestly, fantastic. I think it's well placed at number 9 because I do think there's other things with better plot, better story, and honestly, slightly more enjoyable. Don't get twisted. Eminence has great action and it's hilarious, but there's moments where I'm going to say something that people aren't going to like. It's a little too comedic. Just a little bit. Like, it's like, yo, if we just stayed in the story right here, I think it would have been better. But, you know, Sid's gonna be Sid, bro. MC gonna MC. You put AOT at 8? I'm looking at you funny, Gigguk. I'm looking at you real funny, my boy. We gonna see.
One man's freedom is another man's genocide. Eren Yeager, probably. Attack on Titan ended this year, and the internet had...
You don't know what's going on in the world.
If you only browsed Twitter, you might have thought half the people either think this was a masterpiece ending, no flaws, 10 out of 10, we all won, we all lost. Eren is a bird. Or, this ending ruined the series, ruined the characters, made the entire show pointless, spat on the legacy of everything he had done, no one's gonna remember Attack on Titan now. Eren is a bird.
Today, we're gonna talk about how to stop smoking crack.
It seems to be that this was a satisfying conclusion that did everything it needed to do.
Thank you. Perfect. That was perfect. It is a satisfying conclusion that did everything it needed to do. Perfect. I'm not gonna say it's a perfect ending, right? But it closed out the series exactly the way I feel like it should have been closed and that they intended it to be closed. Now I have to go read the manga ending, but I thought the anime ending closed off every part of the circle perfectly. That's just me though.
Execution of this ending, but absolutely none of it took away from my love for this series as a whole. What Attack on Titan has achieved and the impact it's had on the global reach of anime is something that will go down in history as one of the defining shows of this era. This might not be my favorite ending of all time, but it is certainly the ending to one of my favorite anime of all time. So for one last time, thank you, Attack on Titan. Only those around now will know that feeling of after years of waiting through final seasons of final parts of final episodes, 2023 was that time we could definitively say that this was the final bit of Attack on Titan we'll ever get to see. Oh, god damn it.
What? I hope not.
Sometimes you just need a dose of wholesomeness to brighten up your day, but being a dude watching anime can sometimes feel like...
So what anime have you been watching? Oh, I'm watching this anime called Skip and Loafer, and it's just one of the most cute and adorable... Catch the latest episode of Jujutsu Kaisen at all?
There was nothing in 2023 that made me come out of every episode feeling
that's
as
hilarious.
good as Skip and Loafer did. This shit was a weekly injection of...
I'm not gonna lie, that's how I feel when I talk about Dangers in My Heart. It's like, yo, there's a show called Dangers in My Heart, right? It's about this dude who's mad insecure. And there's a baddie that likes him, but he's insecure. And it's like, oh shit. Like, that sounds kind of sus, don't it? It's like, all right, whatever, fuck y'all.
Of sunshine into my veins. I mean, just look at this opening alone. The colors, the vibes, the catchy song, this goddamn dance. It's enough to make any grown-ass man internally scream, ah! This is so cute! Yeah, violence, am I right, lads? Skip and Loafer is about as straightforward as you can get. A country bumpkin moves to the big city and adjusts to a new high school life. It doesn't need any complex plot because it exudes this air of authenticity that makes you feel so goddamn good. It's rare to find an anime as genuine as this one, because when I say high school life, I don't mean your typical cutesy anime high schoolers that are like, These are teenagers, real teenagers, just enjoying their lives to the fullest. No melodrama, no overly anime bullshit. This is youth and adolescence at its most pure without feeling like it's been put through some moe anime filter. And there's just something so endearing about that. But Gigguk, I'm an adult. Why would I be interested in teenagers? Look, as a certified man, wait, that line sounded really wrong. Look, as a certified man baby pretending to be a grown-up, let me tell you, adulting sucks.
It does.
We have jobs, we have responsibilities, we have goddamn taxes.
We
yearn for a time when life was simpler and more straightforward.
I do.
Maybe that time is romanticized. Maybe you're looking back at that time through rose-tinted glasses. But whether you are or you aren't, you'll never know, because we'll never be able to get that time back again.
Don't remind me.
And it's those little moments, those simple times you cherish and reminisce about.
Why is he
that
trying
this
to
show
be sad?
encapsulates perfectly. Like, there's this one scene where our main girl comes home for the first time during her summer break. She stayed up way too late catching up with her friends and slept in, but it's alright. Her mum's taken the day off and she has the whole summer ahead of her. So on this boiling hot day, her mum slices her up a watermelon and the episode slows down to a crawl as we see her just taking a moment to enjoy this watermelon while the sounds of summer ring on in the background, and she just stops and just appreciates. And just like that,
that's a good ass transition. That's a good ass transition, I ain't gonna lie. What music got cut out here?
When anime wants you to know one of its characters is crazy, it goes...
Okay.
When anime is trying to hint at something important, it's like...
It was me!
No,
Fantasy
not
in anime
Vince.
is using a chainsaw to dice an onion. But what happens when a show comes along that treats you
Heavily
like
Delusion?
the idea
Hell
that
yeah.
what fans say they do? Heavily Delusion. Here is a show that doesn't take you by the hand and leads you, but leaves you to discover the story on your own. It drops you into this insane world, gives you a hand-drawn scribble of a map, and says, figure it out yourself. It's episode 1. Boom, we see a duo exploring a ruined Tokyo that gets in some kind of altercation with some bandits. Alright, you get the idea. It's some post-apocalyptic world, people are fighting for survival, and
Would you look at that? Oh, I am. And I like what I see.
What are you ladies doing?
you're praying this doesn't have the ugly bastard tag on it. The
It
girl brings
does,
out a gun that looks like this and immediately gears start turning. Wait, is this some sci-fi world shit or is that a damn Fisher-Price toy? You think? The bandits start attacking anyway. They fight back. So you're like, ah, okay, maybe she was just bluffing. So this is just a normal world after all. Oh, that's a gun. In a single scene.
No,
the
that's
show
a
set
gun
this
gun.
world, got you asking questions, played with your expectations, answered your question, left you needing more answers, all without directly telling you a goddamn thing. This is Heavenly Delusion for all 13 episodes.
Yes.
It's had one of the most intriguing worlds of any show this year, but trusted you to piece everything together yourself. There is no wasted scene, no out-of-character moment. Everything is a possible puzzle piece that clues you into the bigger picture. What happened to this world? Why are there nightmarish creatures that are eating people? What kind of sick experimentations is going on behind the scenes? Were you paying attention even now? Because you just saw a random drawing of a fish with legs that looks oddly like this horrific thing.
Yes,
and the
yes,
real
it
question
does.
is, did you see a connection without me saying anything? Only
I
by
did.
watching intently do you realize how many crumbs are hidden in plain sight. You get given enough to get a rough idea, but never enough to see the full picture, and it's that unknown that makes this world as intriguing as it is goddamn terrifying. By the end, we've only just seen a slice of the larger whole, but it's so refreshing to see an anime that will have your neurons firing in a way where you don't have to worry about watching with headphones on for once. You know, most of the time.
Most of the time, no. Listen, Heavenly Delusion was the underdog, underrated anime of the year. I don't care what nobody says. What I love that he said at the beginning, that it has Heavenly Delusion requires you to have the IQ that Rick and Morty fans think that they have. Because I'm telling you, in Heavenly Delusion, exactly what he said, there's no wasted space. There's not a wasted scene. Everything means something, and they don't explain it to you. I think sometimes that's my favorite part about Heavenly Delusion. Even at the end of where we reach for the first season, I don't know if there's going to be another season or not, everything is not explained to you. It is up to you to figure it the fuck out sometimes. It is up to you to make the conclusions. It is up to you to piece it together. And I loved it. Oh, man. Beautiful show, man. It was wonderful. Oh, hell yeah. Apothecary, sign me the hell up, bro. Also, oh, wait. Are we not doing Apothecary?
And I don't want to watch these Chinese cartoons, but in 2023, anime went, alright, but what if we had Chinese cartoons? Japan. Apothecary Dar is an anime that takes place in ancient China, not China, in a palace setting that immediately reminded me of these badly dubbed Chinese soap operas I sometimes walk into my mum watching as a kid. I didn't fully realize what the big hook of this show was. Was it the House MD style medical detective stories?
A little bit.
The historical drama surrounding the palace politics?
Not really.
But on top of that, it has, simply put, the
Plot.
best female character we could find.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes that's all it takes. For far too long, anime seems to think we want only one thing, and it's this. No. How about nothing more than just a well-written, believable, compelling female protagonist?
Hey!
Mao Mao is a character that deserves to be in the running for one of the best protagonists we saw in 2023, and was such a breath of fresh air to see. Her presence was overpowering without conforming to what a lot of shows seem to think a good female character is. It's not that she's not like other girls, or premium waifu bait, or a strong female character trademark. She's just a girl. A well-written, believable one that doesn't forget that she's a person first before being just another girl. She doesn't have to be unfeminine to find the overly flirtatious attitude of some pretty boy unappealing. She cannot be your typical waifu bait and still absolutely slay when she needs to. She's not strong because she can beat up 100 guys, but because she's headstrong in her own values and beliefs. Here is a clever realist who acknowledges her place in the palace hierarchy, but isn't afraid to throw hands when shit needs to get done.
Do it, yeah!
My girl just factory reset that bitch. Medical mystery.
Hit her ass with the Windows sound. Do. Nah, this slap was a slap heard around the anime world.
Guys, but because she's headstrong in her own values and beliefs. Here is a clever realist who acknowledges her place in the palace hierarchy, but isn't afraid to throw hands when shit needs to get done.
God. God damn.
Seeing Mao Mao passionately
I love
solve these
it,
medical
man.
mysteries while asserting her fucking ability
Yes.
to palace politics made this such a compelling watch. And hopefully more shows will be able to take note of great characters like this.
No. 100% agree. One of my favorite things about Apothecary Diaries is it's just very real, bro. It's just real as hell. They mix so beautifully the medicine, the mystery, the world building, and the politics. It's just all just mixed together so beautifully. It's almost like when somebody tells you, yo, put the hot honey on the chicken and put it between a waffle. You'd be like, hot honey, chicken, and waffle? Are you crazy? But when you bite that shit, can you tell I'm hungry? I'm not hungry because I'm fat. I'm hungry because I'm hungry. But like, yes, just yes. All right, yes. I don't know what this is.
Appreciating the statue of David up close, getting to see Lionel Messi dribble past 5 players, watching Jack Nicholson command every scene he's in. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, it's always enthralling to see an absolute master of their craft at work. And that's the exact feeling I get whenever I get to see anything written by Naoki Urasawa. And Pluto was absolutely no exception.
Oh, Pluto, okay.
Created a robot that was perfect. The greatest robot the world has ever seen.
Oh boy.
There are only a few manga that can boast such a legendary status as Urasawa himself. When you have a track record of titles like Monster, an absolute masterpiece with arguably the greatest villain anime has seen. 20th Century Boys, not just my favorite manga of all time, but one of my favorite pieces of fiction to exist. Pluto is meant to be one of his weaker works, according to diehard fans. And goddamn, if this is him operating at his lowest potential, this is like sending in your weakest fighter, and that fighter turns out to be Gojo fucking Satoru, and... yeah, that analogy checks out. This has all the calling cards of a classic Urasawa tale. He sets the stage, a sci-fi world where humans and robots coexist, a series of unsolved murders, a detective that is missing part of his memories, a robot that has done the impossible and taken a human life. He hooks you into his world and leaves you with a single question when the first episode ends. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? The man's ability to construct a mystery and captivate an audience through his mastery of suspense, to me, has the same level of craftsmanship as seeing a master blacksmith make a legendary sword. Every episode is so dense with emotion, a plot that will keep you guessing through all the twists and turns, sitting on top of the sheer thematic depth of the story that every single character carries on their back. And by the end of it all, he'll leave you with these ideas that you'll be thinking about far after the credits roll. This is some of the finest storytelling you can find anywhere. If I had to make a guess why this didn't make as big of an impact as it probably should have, well, this was an adaptation of a sci-fi manga that was written 20 years ago that was originally a reimagining of Astro Boy, a manga that came out 60 years ago. So, inevitably, there might be some aspects that feel a bit dated. What's this? A war involving the invasion of some Middle Eastern country predicated on the possible developments of robots of mass destruction?
Yeah, okay.
There's a guy called Adolf. He's a bad guy.
I couldn't agree with you more, my dear Adolf.
But along with a slightly lukewarm ending, this doesn't take
stories like the words I never thought I'd hear in my life.
Because alive right now. So I have one question left. Are we ready to attempt a 20th Century Boys anime?
I'm not gonna lie, my corner of the internet, I don't think I saw Pluto pop up at all whatsoever. Not a word. Even the mangaka he's talking about, I don't think I've heard, read, or watched any of his works, which is very interesting. You know, usually I got my ears to the streets, but Pluto is one that escaped me. I wonder why. I wonder if it wasn't as popular as I thought it was. Was it that it was perhaps locked behind one of the paywalls of one of the streaming sites? Maybe it wasn't reaction worthy. I don't know. But I didn't hear the streets talking about it. I know my side of the street isn't the only side of the streets, but it's still interesting to note that I didn't know nothing about it. So yeah, interesting. I'm gonna go peep.
Domain expansion.
JJK is out there.
When you watch an action anime, you normally go through a season where you might see a ton of great action, but you know it all builds up to this one, or at most 2 episodes where the production values skyrocket, and you're treated to this insane animated fight that will drop your jaw to the floor. These are the scenes that everyone remembers and defines the top fights of the year. Jujutsu Kaisen went, how about we do that?
For the whole season.
Every single episode.
Yeah, basically.
I don't think I've ever quite experienced the collective adrenaline-filled ride Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 has given me. You put on an episode and be watching some of the sickest shit that's ever been used on screen, and you think to yourself, there's no way they could ever top this. And it's at that moment the show will look you dead in the eye and go, I'll fucking do it again. And then it does. Again and again and again and again and again and again. So many amazing moments, so many sick-ass scenes. Midway through the season, the hype got to me, and I excitedly tweeted out, it should be goddamn illegal for an anime to go this hard.
Hell
The
yeah.
same day all this came out. One of the biggest talking points has been Mappa's treatment of their animators during the season, and I think it's a testament to the blood, sweat, and tears poured into this that we got a product this fantastic despite the hellish working conditions they were going through.
Honestly.
Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho, this may not have gotten the opportunity to be as polished as shows like that, but it is unmatched when it comes to its raw stylistic flair. Every single fight has a unique identity not constrained to one genre of action. We got gritty hand-to-hand combat, citywide disaster-level brawls, insane unique powers, idle dance beatdowns. There was a mecha fight, a fucking mecha fight.
There was a
in
mecha
shonen
fight,
anime.
bro.
The amount of hype, the amount of fucking sheer disrespect. We got fucking rabbits throwing hands. This was one of the greatest showcases
Rabbits
I've
getting
ever
bodied,
seen of,
you mean?
for lack of a better term, fucking cool shit. This felt
Fucking
like
cool
the purest
shit.
celebration of fight scenes and choreography. We were in the audience. They got to marvel at a symphony of some of the coolest set pieces you can find in the medium. The Shibuya arc may not have been peak storytelling or the peak of all shonen arcs,
That's where
but
I'll
right now
disagree.
this is the peak of action spectacle.
Nah, okay. So there's one thing I disagree with. I feel like a common theme and a common thing that I heard when people talking about the Shibuya arc, right, is that it didn't really move the story forward. It was just a bunch of cool fighting. I feel like people fail to give it credit that the arc really answers the question. In the previously, we've seen what happens if we let Sukuna get too strong. What happens if these curses get too strong, right? But we never asked the question, what happens if we don't have strong enough Jujutsu sorcerers, right? It really outlined when they say the world is safe because Gojo exists. It's a common thing that they had been saying since season 1. And we're all like, yeah, that's cool. Gojo's strong. We know he's one of the strongest. I think the Shibuya arc really underlaid the story that without Gojo, like, we're getting washed by these curses, bro. Without these 1% sorcerers that just exist, they're the only ones holding us from oblivion. And if they're not here, or if we don't catch up and close this gap, like, really fucking fast, like, we're doomed. We're absolutely doomed. I think that's an underrated part of the writing in the Shibuya arc that everybody just kind of glances over, right? Everybody takes it as, I feel like everybody was taking it as, Gojo's gone, we got bodied, oh, woe is me, but man, these fights are really cool. Or Gigi keeps killing my favorite characters, why are you doing that? I'm not gonna lie, my heart got broken twice in that goddamn arc, right? But at the end of the day, the underlying story, to me, really is, and I think the last 2 episodes of the season really laid it out. It's like, look, we keep thinking that oh, sorcerers are better than curses, or sorcerers are less evil than curses. But what it really outlined is like sorcerers can be just as evil as curses, number 1. Number 2, we keep thinking that sorcerers will always be able to defeat curses. That's not true. Without Gojo Satoru, it goes literally Gojo Satoru up here. The next best person is like down here. The gap between first and second place is so immensely large that we can't even fathom how screwed we would be without this man Gojo. And then we got shown how screwed we are without this man Gojo. It's very fucking beautiful in my opinion. Also, the other part of the writing that I thoroughly enjoyed was the degradation of Itadori by Mahito. I think that part of the storytelling is really throwing humanity in his face continually, letting him see as long as you live what you have the ability to perpetrate through Sukuna's actions. I thought it was a fantastic piece of writing, but I really don't think people enjoyed it, or I don't think people were really there to understand that part of the writing. Maybe I'm looking too deep into something that's not really there, but that's what I felt, that's what I saw, and that's what I felt was being conveyed to me. Outside of the dope fights, outside of the fire-ass animation. That's the message that I took away, and I don't know if everybody got that. Comment down below if you agree or disagree, especially if you made it this far. We're in the deep end now. Oh, we drowning, baby. Comment down below if you thought some of those themes in JJK were clearly written and expressed, or do you feel like you had to go and find that in between the fights?
The way elves see this world is a mystery.
Whoa, Free Aaron's number 2?
It's solely because
I gotta see what number 1
this
is.
retired hero could have one final adventure.
The hero Himmel.
Frieren opens on the story of an elf girl who takes for granted the time she has with the people around her. Decades pass in the blink of an eye, her companions age, and before she has the chance to fully get to know them, they're gone. It's a regretful, poignant tale that shoots straight to your goddamn soul. And then the opening's like...
That's a good Bollywood reference.
Fantasy adventure while encapsulating everything that the genre is about. There might not be any demon lord to defeat or world to save, but instead we have a journey about appreciating the smaller things in your life. The beautiful things you might have missed if you forgot to look for them. I showed this to a mate and he was like, Frieren? You mean Side Quest, the anime? And I
Stop!
him.
Yeah, beat his ass.
Fucking accurate, that is. Through those detours you take along the road to your destination, Frieren absolutely shines. It's the type of show that grips you without ever needing to hit you with any flashy, high-intensity action scenes to keep your attention, and then it hits you with these flashy, high-intensity action scenes. This
my man Stark
animation in any way, shape, or form, but chooses to do so anyway. This is what it's like to watch a fully polished product. But like Frieren's own journey, these are not the moments that stick with you. For the world-saving adventure she went on, the slice of memories we get are those small moments that really defines the time she spent with her party. And as she forms new bonds, you start to see those small pieces she begins to pick up from the people around her that slowly become a part of her. This is what every fantasy tale aspires to be.
Bro.
It's shows like these that somehow make you nostalgic for an experience you've never had, friends you've never made, but at its heart, it's a gentle reminder to cherish the things in your life that really matter, to make the most of the time with the people you truly value.
Nah, man. Nah, Gigguk's way with words is fucking amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I started getting emotional, bro. Cause like, the way he just conveyed, I feel like he perfectly spoke and conveyed everything about Free Aaron. Like, no misses, bro. Like, no misses on that one. Like, goddamn. It's a good fucking show, man. If you haven't watched it, you're missing out. It's a good fucking show, man. All right, what's number 1, bro? Oh, Vinland? I approve. I approve. I approve. I'm not mad anymore. Nah.
And I will atone for all that I've done.
Farming simulator for the win.
That's all we've ever wanted. Something in this world that can give us a reason to keep going.
I'm perfectly happy.
My father would read me bedtime stories that my childish mind would always be absolutely immersed in. Accounts of hungry caterpillars, rainbow fishes, ugly ducklings. These were the greatest stories I'd ever heard, because they were. But it would always end off with a message, a seed that got planted in my head that would hopefully sprout into a lesson that would stick with me. And as you grow older, start learning new lessons by experiencing real life, you forget the effect that stories can have on you. A good story can not only entertain you, it can move you, give you a new perspective, teach you something you never knew you could learn that you can take far beyond the confounds of watching some piece of entertainment. That is the power of a great tale, and that is everything that Vinland Saga Season 2 encapsulates. I cannot begin to describe the sheer effect this show had on me. Season 1 was a compelling adventure filled with tragedy, vengeance, and violence. So to anyone coming into this season blind, you probably would have been taken aback. The violence takes a backseat to a pure, methodical character drama. Vengeance has been replaced by a saga of redemption and acceptance. Honor, glory, sacrifice, all left by the wayside, and all that remains is people just trying their best to find their place in this merciless world. While most series would cower at the thought of shifting gears this drastically, it is that strong juxtaposition that gives Vinland Saga's message the weight it has, exemplified by possibly the greatest character development we've ever seen in this medium. Thorfinn's transformation is something that transcends entertainment. A man who starts off as a shell of a human, broken, empty, unworthy of redemption, but through every person he meets, every relationship he forms, he starts to learn to pick up the broken pieces of his former self.
Ooh, I like that.
But surely,
that's a good edit,
his soul up. As you see him encounter conflict, you'll secretly wish for that instant gratification that he'll revert back to his previous savage self.
I thought
As
he
you witness
was.
this journey of a man fighting so desperately to find peace, who learns that it's okay not just to forgive others, but to forgive himself as well, it becomes an experience that will linger with you and invites you to find your own solace. Watching Vinland Saga feels like I'm getting read the greatest bedtime story ever told by my dad. It'll grip you with the purest of tales packed with nothing but raw human emotion that will leave your heart filled to the brim. And by the end of it all, it gives you something, a message, a lesson it earnestly hopes you can take with you. It reminds you that change isn't just something that exists in the boundaries of a fictional story. It doesn't come easy. It's a long, hard, unforgiving road, but you can get there, even if every day you only take one small step at a time. We will always find a reason to fight each other, no matter what time period we are in, weapons we can use, or tools we have at our disposal. But
That's
no
an
matter how
AOT time,
broken
man.
you think the world is, there is still meaning in trying to build a better tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I can make a brighter day come. Maybe tomorrow I can be just that little bit kinder. Maybe tomorrow I can become a slightly better version of myself.
Woo!
You are capable of letting go of that hatred, even if that hatred is towards yourself. You have no enemies.
Just some incompetent people who don't understand how they're affected. That was Gigguk Best Anime 2023. Honestly, at first when I saw what he had listed, I was like, disorder. I'm not fucking with disorder, man. He had some things in the bottom 10 that I would have had closer to the middle, but I'm not gonna lie. His top 5 outside of Pluto, I'm honestly with it. Again, the order, I'm not gonna nitpick the order, but what he chosen at his top 10/13 on this one, I agree. The ones I would have removed is Zom 100, 100 Girlfriends, Trigun. I feel like those 3, they were dope. Or Trigun I didn't see. 100 Girlfriends, I thought was fantastic. Top 10, I don't know if it's top 10. No, I got it in my top 10. No, honestly, 100 Girlfriends is top 10 worthy. Zom 100, I thought it would have been way more fantastic, but that's why it barely made the list. Vinland and Vinland, Jujutsu Kaisen, Free Eren, and Vinland being 3, 2, and 1. Honestly, the fact that they're all top 5, I agree with. 10,000%. I truly believe that a lot of people aren't giving Free Eren enough of a chance. It is a fantastic anime. It truly is. It has everything you could want. It's funny he called it Side Quest the anime. It literally feels like and moves like Side Quest the anime. However, it is main quest shit. Because at the end of the day, exactly like Gigguk said, the main point of the story is to appreciate the small moments that you normally wouldn't have, so that when you leave, it leaves you feeling complete. That's what I like about Free Ren. It always leaves me feeling complete. Not only that, it has the action, it has the mystery, it has complications, issues, it has the comedy, it has the little touching moments between characters. Fan-fucking-tastic. Jujutsu Kaisen, I already talked about in length. I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen is taken as a battle shonen, but there's some really good underlying story and plot that if you're not watching correctly, I shouldn't say not watching correctly, because now I sound like the people who talk about reactors, you didn't react to that the right way. I feel like if you are just watching it for the battle shown inside of it, I feel like there's a whole part of the story and a whole part of the appreciation that you're missing out on. Vinland Saga 2, Farming Simulator, as some of y'all called it. Yo, that second season was still beautiful. Again, a very emotional telling story, a mature story, and I think because it's such a mature story, a lot of people didn't really vibe with it. They came for the violence, they came for the war, they weren't ready for the mature turn. Me personally, I will tell you, I also wasn't expecting this mature of a turn, but once it started rolling, I was like, you know what, I'm here for it. I understand. I know what it's like to be broken, to think that there's nothing left inside of you, that you gave it all that you got, and now you're just going through the motions until you go, to realizing that no, you can do better the next day. You have to do better the next day. Part of coming back, part of the revitalization, part of the bounce back is getting back that hope that tomorrow's gonna be better. And I feel like because it's such a mature theme that a lot of people just kind of like, I don't need it, or growth, who needs it? Give me the violence. And honestly, I get that. Also, there was still a lot of politicking going on. There was still a lot of drama going on. It was Vinland Saga 2 was fantastic. I think a lot of people underappreciated it, again, because it was mature. Apothecary and Heavy Delusion. Yo, honestly, Gigguk's top 5, Gigguk's top 6 was damn near perfect. I'm not gonna lie, Gigguk's top 6 was damn near perfect. I would move out Pluto and probably put in Oceano and AOT. That's all I gotta say about it. Awesome video, fabulous year of anime for 2023. I like his choices. I really have very little qualms with what he put. But again, even if I did, who am I? I'm just but a humble reactor, a humble reviewer who has his own tastes and fetishes and feels to what he likes to watch. But it is nice to see someone so well respected in industry, aka Gigguk, also have like the similar taste in what I enjoy. I'm not gonna lie, it's very nice. It's very nice. But anyways, we're gonna end this one here. I appreciate y'all. Comment down below, what was your top 3 anime for 2023? And what was your 3 least favorite animes you saw in 2023? I think oftentimes we do the best list, but I kind of want to see the worst list. What did you watch that you just did not enjoy, did not like? I think that's an underrated thing. I'm not trying to breed or bring negativity, but I truly want to hear it. I'm actually really interested. I might go do my bottom 10 list too. Every year I do a top 10, I should do a bottom 10 too. We'll see. Comment down below if you want to watch a bottom 10 anime list. Do that below. I'm your man behind the cam. Always remember, never ever forget. Hey, stay nasty, y'all. You wanna go? Right, I'm really fucking shaking, bro.